Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 179th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle Podcast, 2023, a year in review. So we are now officially in 2024, but I thought it would be fun to share a little bit of a recap of kind of my business journey and life journey over the past year, and then also to share a little bit of a sneak peek over where things are going in 2024. So I'm going to be honest, this time last year, January 2023 was really, really hard. When I look back at that month, really my big accomplishment was I survived. I went through some really hard things that I'm sure I'll share more with in the future, but for me, survival was enough last January. Moving into February of last year, I had the Blog Boss Mastermind. If you guys don't know, I have an amazing mastermind of students who want to level up their online businesses. And so it is called the Blog Boss Mastermind. We meet twice a year in person. And in February, we met in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. And it was gorgeous. I mean, for most of us in February, weather's not great, right? But Florida, the weather was beautiful. The sand was white. The sky was blue. The sun was shining. And we just had the best time leveling up as a mastermind. And it was really fun because my mastermind students got to meet my business coach, Greg Todd, who lives in that neck of the woods. So in March, I got to go with my business coach and my mastermind to our in-person retreat in Blue Ridge, Georgia. My business coach got a cabin at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023 in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And this was the first time that we met there. It's a couple hours outside of Atlanta, but it is super beautiful. It's in the woods right near a lake, and it's a really modern cabin. And so what was fun was after that, I ended up going back the next month to Blue Ridge, Georgia for a special mastermind event, and I was able to bring my son. So Greg, my business coach, did a challenge called the Invincible Challenge I believe it was around March of last year, and so many of you participated in that challenge. I was an affiliate, and the top affiliates, meaning the people who got the most people in the challenge, won a free mastermind trip to Blue Ridge, Georgia. And thanks to you guys who signed up for the challenge, I was able to be the #1 affiliate. And pretty much there were 3 people he brought, the first, second, and third place winners. It was a private mastermind with him and his brother, and they let me bring Gavin. Gavin was 12 at the time. He's now 13. And it was so fun for me to bring him, first off, across the country, like just taking a trip. We got in a day early. Greg let us stay at his cabin, and we got to explore Blue Ridge. But then for my son to be in the rooms with entrepreneurs and business owners and millionaires, it was so cool for him to be submersed in that environment. And what was kind of cool is he did pack up his Xbox. He brought his phone, and I expected him, during the businessy things, to just be on his Xbox, but he was present the whole time. He was not on his Xbox. He was not on his phone. He was in the rooms. He was listening. He was soaking things up. And I did pull him out of school, but I think about it and I'm like, man, I think that mastermind was probably more valuable than school because he learned so many things that we just don't learn in school. So that was super, super fun. He also got to interview my business coach, Greg, for his careers project. If you guys remember way back when, most kids do this at some point. Schools ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then you write a report on the thing you want to do. And with Gavin, he had to interview someone doing the thing he wanted to do. So he picked entrepreneurship and he interviewed Greg, which was so fun. So in May, I had the opportunity to go to Savannah, Georgia for today's Dietitian Symposium, and I got to speak on stage all about side hustles. I know some of you met me at that event, and it was so much fun. what was special about it too was that I got to bring my dad. So I got to bring my dad, and when we flew from Oregon to Georgia, I did upgrade to first class because my dad had never flown first class before. So we got to kind of experience that. And my dad was with me when I presented. He was with me when I had a booth at the exhibit hall. And when I did my presentation, I introduced my dad. I was like, my dad's here with me. And throughout the entire weekend, my dad had people going up to him saying like, "You're Katie's dad. It's so sweet you're here." So in some ways, he got to be a little celebrity in the dietitian world for a weekend. We got to stay at a nice hotel, explore beautiful Savannah. If you've never been, holy cow, it's beautiful. It's on a river with these amazing barges, and the roads and like the stairwells are super they're historical stairs, which means super steep and dangerous stairs, but they're what they originally were created, forever ago. And it's such a cute town, such a cute town. There's so many squares and parks everywhere, beautiful trees, lots of history, and amazing food. So that was a really special event. And also in May, I ended up doing a kind of a beta version of my Blogging Accelerator program. So if you listen to the podcast, you know that my primary program is Blogging Accelerator program, where I help dietitians and healthcare professionals build businesses based in blogging. And I've had like my big Blogging Accelerator program, but I wanted to create a lower ticket offer to help people get started. People who are like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to go all in and make this big of an investment, but I do want to get started." So I did a beta of this, and it was actually called the BAP Accelerated program. And it was amazing. It was so fun to go through this challenge with a group of dietitians and see them start their blogs, figure out their niche, learn SEO tactics. In June was fun. June, I did my first live event. It was called Dietitian Side Hustle Live. And it was such a privilege and an honor, the number of dietitians that showed up to learn, to level up. We were in the Hyatt on the beach in Clearwater. You literally could walk out, like you could see out the windows, but you could literally walk out on the balcony and there is palm trees, white beaches, ocean. It was so beautiful and such an amazing day. Following that day was Smart Success Healthcare Live. That was my business coaches event, which was 3 days. So when people came to Dietitian Side Hustle Live, it was like a 2-in-1 event. So they got to work with me all day, and then they got to move into Greg's program. And what was fun at Smart Success Healthcare was I was the first guest speaker after Greg on the first day, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun to be able to share a little bit of my story, inspire people to go out there and pursue their big dreams and remove their limiting beliefs. And that whole weekend was just incredible for me. And also, I know for a lot of you, because I know some of you were there too. In very end of July, August, my daughter and I went on a mommy-daughter trip to Vegas. And I think I recorded a podcast episode about how I made $10,000 in Vegas, and it was completely through passive income through my business, which makes me appreciate online entrepreneurship, you guys. I'm so grateful for what I do. But I was able to go on a girls' trip with my 8-year-old daughter to Vegas. We went to Circus. We had fun every day. My daughter was living her best life, ordering pina coladas, hanging out by the pool, and we did go see a Katy Perry concert, which was so much fun. So then in September, after I did my beta of the BAP Accelerated program, I officially launched the BAP Accelerator. So I changed the name from Accelerated to Accelerator, and we had 34 people join the Accelerator program. And I will say it was like so much fun. I mean, we're doing our second cohort of it right now, and I love this program. So other things that happened that month in September, the Blog Boss Mastermind, they ended up coming to Medford, Oregon. Again, we meet twice a year in person, and once is in Oregon. And we had a blast. We stayed at the coolest Airbnb. I brought them to Crater Lake, which is Oregon's only national park, and we did a really hard hike, challenged our bodies and our mindset, and got some amazing photos in the process. In October, it was FNCE, the Food Nutrition Conference and Expo in Denver. I not only went, but I also had a booth at Member Product Marketplace, and I got to see so many of you there. I will say, I'm so grateful to those of you who listen to this podcast. For those of you who share this podcast, I'm so grateful to you all. And then when I get to meet you in real life, it is a joy for me. So I feel like this year I've got to meet so many of you in person, and I'll meet you and you're like, I listened to the podcast, or you'll know about what's going on, like whether or not it's from my kitchen being flooded by my cat or whatever it is. And so I appreciate you all so much. But FNCE was fun because I got to see a lot of you there, because there's always a lot of dietitians at FNCE. So then in November, I I actually updated my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. I feel like almost all of this I shared along, with the podcast. But this was my first program that I'd ever made, and I did an update and then a really big Black Friday sale. And so I updated and relaunched my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course, which is designed to help you get started in whatever it is you want to do outside of a traditional job. And also that month, I brought my kids, and my son was turning 13, so this was his 13th birthday. So I brought him and two friends, and then my daughter to Great Wolf Lodge, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like an indoor water park for kids. It's like a resort for kids. It is so much fun for them. And so I, I was kind of thinking about it after we were getting, or when we were getting ready. I'm like, I just agreed to take three 13-year-old boys on a 6.5 hour road trip to go to a water park. But it was so much fun to be able to spend time with my kids and to have my son just have a blast with his buddies, celebrating Big 13. And then finally in December, I did share a couple episodes ago about how December was super fun because I, again, got to meet with my mastermind crew, the one that I'm in with my coach, Greg Todd, in Blue Ridge, Georgia. I got to go see some friends in South Carolina, North Carolina, and then I was at the Practice Revolution Live, which was an incredible event. I got to speak at this event and again, met a lot of you. So that's a quick recap of my 2023. Looking at the business side of things, it was really all focused on Blogging Accelerator program. How can I continue to serve you guys better, helping you build businesses based on blogging, regardless of where you're at, whether or not you're ready to go all in or you just want a little kickstart to get you started. I updated my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. I promoted a lot of really amazing affiliate programs. And what I mean by that is programs that my colleagues and friends are offering, which are amazing. And so promoting those. I had my first official live event and then had the Blog Boss Mastermind, which is such a fun experience and such a joy. So those were some of the highlights of business in addition to all the speaking. I love speaking on stages, you guys. So it was a lot of fun. Personally, this has been a year of growth. This has been a year of resilience. This has been a year that I'm beyond grateful for. Being present with my kids, healing in my mental health journey, and just feeling so free and happy. I shared at the very beginning how January was hard. A lot of this year has been hard, but it's also been a lot of growth. And I'll probably share more about my journey later. I've kind of dropped in little bits and pieces of my journey, but a lot of growth this year, a lot of gratitude of really moving into the life that I know that God intended for me to live. So anyways, that was 2023 for me. So let me give you a sneak peek of what's coming in 2024. So a few big things. So I always set income goals. I haven't been able to share my income goals for some personal reasons for the last couple of years, which makes my heart sad because I love talking about money. But I have not reached my $1 million goal yet. And so that really is my goal for 2024 is I do want to pursue making $1 million in online business. I also am restructuring my Blogging Accelerator program. I started it this year and moving into next year. Some final things will be kind of coming into place. I'll be launching my BAP Platinum program. So essentially I took my big Blogging Accelerator program, broke it into the Accelerator to get started, and then the Platinum program, which is really focused on how to make money blogging and how to build an online business, a blog brand. And so that's going to be launching at the end of January, beginning of February 2024. I am also relaunching my Blog Boss Mastermind in April of 2024. One of my favorite things I do. This mastermind is just the best. I've had such amazing experiences myself being in a mastermind. So that's why I was like, I have to start this for dietitians. And it has been so incredible. So our current year is going to be ending in April. And so doors will be open for enrollment. So if you're looking for an incredible mastermind to be a part of, reach out, let me know, or keep your eyes out for emails from me. I'm also working with a publisher on publishing my first book, which I'm very excited about. I just shared that a couple of weeks ago on Facebook and Instagram, and you guys are super supportive about that. And I'm very excited to share that I will be doing Dietitian Side Hustle Live again. I just put down my deposit, so it is happening. It is going to be the first weekend in June. And so when you join me with Dietitian Side Hustle Live, you get 1 full day with me and then 3 days with Smart Success Healthcare Live. It's like a 2-in-1 event. More details to come, but that's a little sneak peek of what is coming in 2024 for my brand and kind of the big audacious goals that I have. So thank you for being with me on this journey. I know so many of you who started listening to this podcast at the end of 2019, and I'll tell you, I had no idea where this brand was going. I had no idea where my life was going. I was just a little side hustler wanting to share with more dietitians and RDs to Bs about all the cool stuff we could do online. And I would have never imagined that I would be living this life that I never thought was possible, being a full-time entrepreneur, having freedom in all areas of my life. And I'm just so grateful to each and every one of you, because it's really all of your support that has made this a possibility for me. So I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for listening to the episode. I'm excited for everything that's to come in 2024. For those of you who I haven't worked with yet, I'm excited to work with you soon. For those of you who have worked with me, I am grateful for you all as well. It's just such a privilege to serve you all. So thanks so much for listening to the podcast. If you want to learn about all the ways that we could work together, go to katiedodd.com. That is my Linktree page. And yeah, have an amazing day. Bye, guys.